I could never tell the sea. It's hard to wash away sins from the waters our ancestors tried to walk on. Teach me that I can only stay alive if I keep my head up. And being so submerged in you. Waiting, because this Sarah Badman body drags me underwater if I do nothing. But Yamaha would never allow the sea to swallow our kind whole again. Her name, which means mother whose children are the fish. You knew big fish couldn't live in tiny ponds. You watched me stifle. Knew water had oxygen in it. But underwater is where blacks learn to breathe. To know water means struggle. To be twins, both bodies of water. Why my sweat and tears are salted. Never question why the sea is so salty. Did you know this black is cleansed? I don't get seasick when the sea cradles me to sleep. And the spines of men no book seems to bind or account for. Funny how the water always brings things back to us. A rebaptism, the water that holds all of my troubles, better than my mother could. My mother's mother's mother held you like if it was a rite of passage. My mother told me to never turn my back against the sea. In front of me is current, and it's only the waves that would get you there. How can you turn your back against the thing that brought you here? So here I am, my mother's reincarnation. I can't imagine living in a space that has less room than the dead. Seems to be a little bit selfish. I can't imagine the captain confusing the spirit of his men with the spirit in his cup. Both deadly, his cockpit a bridge. But us black knew better. To know death better than bondage. To be twins. To be free. To know this body belongs to nobody, so we will have a funerary baptism. An open casket for the fishes. This body as a bloody host for sharks' communion. Encapsulating the dense bones of my ancestors in Davy Jones's locker. I was the middle passage between dirt and a foreign land. Between land and a foreign land. The water between continents became a second home to me. I am the immigrant. You see, we teach our children to use water as leisure, but we need to teach our children to use this water to get them out of their pain. And it is said, just as the water gave birth to black people and delivered us to a new land, some seek salvation here. But for the rest of us, finding escape was enough. From there you came, from whence you shall return. You see, in the 1980s, the American dream caused young Caribbean residents, like my mother, to migrate here for some sort of better life, higher education, good paying jobs, and to alleviate themselves from the problems of the families they left behind. My mother went to York College, CUNY, to obtain a Bachelor of Science in Math, and while being a good full-time student, stayed in Queens and worked 3 jobs just to keep herself on her feet. When she was ready to make her first child, me, I was able to escape well before I knew what the word escape meant. The decision had to be made. Was she going to have her child where she was currently residing, in New York? Or was she going to go back home, to Tobago? She had to decide, which land does this body belong to? When I was younger, I never knew why I was so close with family members I had to wait 6 hours on a plane to see. It also never dawned on me why I wasn't so close with cousins, because we were so distant, literally and figuratively. I've always felt different. And I've never found myself to fit into the jigsaw puzzle of both cultures, but nevertheless, I found myself trying to fit in both anyway. I've never been in one place for too long. 1 minute, I'm in the choking atmosphere of this city, and then I'm comforted by the sea breeze. 1 minute, I'm surrounded by dirty New York water that can't touch my skin, to being a fish in the crispy blue sea. Regular kids in Queens spend their vacations watching early 2000s television shows, while me, I was on Tobago getting a tan on the beach with my mother. I didn't know too many kids that went through customs the way I did. I would come back and hear kids whisper that I'm their little piece of dark chocolate in the classroom. I didn't know too much children who even left the country the way I did. My mother, my baby sister, and I moved and settled to Tobago when I was 8. Because I already started to have Americanized things already concreted in my mind, being from the Caribbean meant you grew up a certain way. But nevertheless, I had to assimilate, adapt, and adjust my character to suit. Conform to the norms of the Caribbean household. Routine. Engraved in the skin of this Caribbean gal, 6 a.m. meant it was time to wake up and take care of animals. Parents would complain that they would wake earlier to tote water on their crowns. Christmas time was paint, varnish, scrubbing. If you didn't hear gospel on a Sunday morning, it was troubling. Cleaning. If you blinked your eyes too fast, there would be a new colored curtain. It was a routine, and I'd be so glad to do it all over again. Going to school with kids who see America as the best thing made nothing any better for me. Growing up in the Caribbean, I respected the values of having responsibilities at a young age and was nurtured to act as such. So at one point, I was the American girl just trying to be the Caribbean gal, while the Caribbean gal was just trying to be the American girl. So they always saw me as spectacle, as some toy to have some experience with. I had different clothes, different shoes, and most definitely, a different accent. Accents are known to emphasize features. For example, the letter E can make the sound E or E, but the letter E with an accent makes the sound A. But my language comes from a place of struggle. No matter where I go, my accent makes me become the spotlight. Some call it comedic, some question it. My accent doesn't know how to lay still. My accent is a folk dance, a bongo. She knows how to fet. And these lips know how to gyrate like waist on Carnival Monday. This accent is a tongue, rolling like the notes on steel pans. She knows too much of the choppy waters of the Bocas. The Tobago in me knows when to hide. My tongue knows how to twist its way into speaking the English that's correct. This same tongue knows that this accent is the 10th sexiest accent in the world. This accent could say, what is he seen? She knows a man who earns an Olympic gold medal from pelting mangoes on cocoa trees. This accent knows that everyone in Trinidad thinks that Tobago is only full of goat. But Tobagonians know, well, what's sweet in goat mouth just so any bam bam. And well, Americans would say, well, what seems sweet in the moment may have negative consequences after. This accent could say, well, when you see the daytime, you can take bully fair to see the night, you know. Translation, well, if you don't seize the day, we have enough light sources to use as dark. You have no excuse. My accent is what you can understand and what you can't. And it doesn't make me any less of a person. Being a dual citizen was hard for me, especially because I wanted to be a part of one culture, while aspects of other cultures went through in my life. I live in New York now. I go to the same school my mother went to, studying something completely different. Breaking every glass ceiling there is possible. My mother was an immigrant at some point, and I know it was so hard for her to experience the inequalities of being an American citizen. And sometimes I wonder if she sacrificed her sea and sand to make sure that her offspring are not disappointed in their outcome, giving me the extra push that I need. Being an American citizen gave me the extra push that I needed. But Trinidad and Tobago was the place that strengthened my legs. Trinidad and Tobago gave me good foundation. Trinidad and Tobago has made me unapologetic of my upbringing. I'm not proud of my dual citizenship. We as humans should become melting pots to be more holistic individuals. We can't all be the same. In this, I sought solace in being different, and by using my voice to be the echo for those who don't have the luxury or opportunity to. I was never hypnotized by the American dream. I was born with eyes wide open and was able to experience living in the true America as a young Black woman instead, using the sing-song of an accent to bring awareness of the social issues that plague us as youth today. I'm known to have something I like to call a second tongue. Not only T-O-W-N, like, hey girl, I'm coming in town, or T-O-N-G-U-E, like the muscle in my mouth that has to break through the cages of my teeth to do my favorite facial pose. But T-O-W-N-G-U-E. I have two tongues, and I have two tongues. Second tongue. A combination of both, as one place would always get jealous when I call the other home. Not feeling like if I belong, but making myself belong anyway. Knowing how to code switch like someone who wants to save energy after leaving a room. Knowing how to hold on to various fragments of my life to create new. Changing the notion of what the American dream looks like. And I would use my voice, no matter the accent, no matter the pronunciation, no matter my background. I've learned that you can't stand for something if your knees are bent, and if you don't play with the strings of your vocal cords. And so should you. Thank you.